Values are the most important part that you find in your mentor and in your business partners, in the people that you employ, the people that we work with, the clients. Values are fundamental.
Here we are in Sydney. Welcome to another episode of my podcast, Relentless Life on Your Terms with Mel Gholami. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Chris. Good to be here.
Hot off the awards night from the other week at Carve. Yes.
It was an amazing night. And for a first Carve award, we were so impressed. The amount of people that were there, the energy that was in the room, and the way the whole night ran. So well done to Carve for putting the first one on, and good luck for the next one, I should say.
It was a great community.
Yeah.
I got a chance to meet a lot more of the Carve members, Sydney members like yourself. So I'm very excited to have you on the podcast. So tell us a bit about your journey from coming to Australia, and a bit about your company, Planix Projects, as well.
Yeah, sounds good. I migrated to Sydney from Iran when I was a teenager. So when I was 16 years old, we came with my mum and dad. It was one of those decisions that we always knew we were going to leave Iran because of the lack of opportunities and the freedom that we had. So we arrived, and I was this teenager who had friends, and my life was sorted effectively to the point that I knew. We arrived and everything was turned on its head. I lost all my friends. I lost the community. I lost everyone I knew effectively, and I had to start over. So we'll touch on that a little bit later on. But effectively, we arrived and I had to establish myself again. And we went through that. I went through that journey, and then I got into university. That's when life started getting quite exciting and going the direction that I wanted to go. So I studied civil engineering at UTS. Through that course, I knew I've always been an entrepreneur, and I knew that I wanted to start my own business. I wanted to be a business that was passionate about what we do, but I didn't know exactly what. So I started work as a civil engineer during the course that I was doing, and I worked with some amazing organisations. So I worked at Walker Corporation, I worked at Relentless, I worked at Jones Lang LaSalle since finishing uni, and then through those experiences that I was having, I kept thinking, I think I can create something better. I think I can create a business that's passionate about what we do in the world of project management. But I thought it will happen 10 plus years after I was working at Jones Lang LaSalle at the time. GFC hit in 2009, and most of our exciting projects that we're working on, hotels, big hotels that we had planned, had stopped and went on hold.
Yep. And
at the time, I got a call from a connection that I knew from the industry. And he said, I've just started at this government agency. We've set up a delivery agency to deliver large, complex projects for government. Is it something that you're interested in doing? One of those things about me is if I can always find a yes, I'll find a yes. So I said to him, yes, I'll do it. It sounds interesting. But he said, there's a catch, and you've got to set up an ABN to deliver this work for us. So I set up an ABN. It was effectively just me from 2009.
Sole trader, yeah.
Sole trader, yeah, that's right. From 2009 till about 2012. And 2012, I got more of those calls from the industry saying, can you help us with this other project? Can you help us with that other project? And I thought it's a perfect opportunity to get the business that I've always had the vision that I wanted to start, to get that started. So I incorporated Planix in 2012, and we've been going since 2012. So it's been 14 amazing years that we've been operating in New South Wales, Victoria, Queensland, and ACT.
That's amazing. I share your sentiment because I actually came from Cyprus when I was 16. So I went to Cyprus when I was 9 to 16. My family moved there. We're from Cyprus. Yep. We came over here, and again, you're 16 years old, you've got to make new friends and start again. It's always good challenges, but it also keeps you to be more resilient, and you learn a lot of things as well.
You really do. And I think you don't realise it at the time because you're thrown in the deep end. But when you are 16 and you've got to, it's not a choice for you to go out and party because life is sorted. You really have to, whatever challenges are thrown at you, you really have to find a way, find a solution. And as a 16-year-old, it teaches you a lot, as you go through those. And then you reflect and you think, wow, I've done okay.
I was about to say that. It's upon reflection you understand that through those challenges, you form into a more resilient person. You understand you can pretty much do anything.
That's right.
But also it does make it exciting, going to a new school or having to learn new people, coming from a new culture. So going back, 2009, you started as a sole trader. 2012, you started your award-winning business. Now you've won quite a few awards. Name a couple that you're very, very proud of and tell me why.
To be honest, they're all quite exciting for us. We've been fortunate. We've been very fortunate to be nominated and win Client Choice Award for Best Project Management Company for 2 years in a row. So I'm very proud of that. It's not just about me, it's about the team. The work that we've done across all of our clients. They voted for us. They named us their project management company of choice. They rated us 10 out of 10 for caring for clients. And for me, that was a proud moment to see that the values that we have, which is about partnership, which is about collaboration with our clients, is shining through from their perspective and what they are seeing us to be. So I'm very proud of that. Last year, I was also nominated for Business Champion Icon for Businesswoman of the Year. And I was very fortunate to win that. For me, that was a proud moment again to know that we are making an impact, from not just from a business perspective, but from a community's perspective. I do a lot of mentoring of people from universities to school students and to people across the industry. So for me to win that award was incredible. It was an incredible accolade and proud moment.
What's the most rewarding part of doing mentoring for you?
It's interesting. I feel that I take away more than I give. That's the best part about mentoring. The energy, the excitement that comes through from people that I mentor as we go through the journey gives me so much life. As I mentioned, I mentor university students. I go to Western Sydney University as part of their executive mentoring program. And I meet these young, passionate, vibrant people. They've got their whole journey ahead of them. So working through that process of identifying what it is you're passionate about, where do you see your journey to go, and helping them and guiding them about what opportunities exist within the industry and outside of the industry gives me so much more than I take away than I give to them.
It also gives you you don't really understand something until you teach it. I think when you teach something, you get a better understanding of it. It does give you a purpose as well to be able to help someone and to see them grow. So understand as well, when you started your business, it wasn't always easy. It wasn't always winning awards. Like I always say, you never win an award on the night. You win the award in the thousands of hours that you do when people aren't watching. You win an award when you have an amazing team. You win an award when you actually work really hard and you're passionate. It's never on the night. I remember an Olympic gold medalist said, I never won the award today, the gold medal today. I won it in the hours and hours and the years of practice before, and I feel it's very, very similar.
100%, Chris. It's interesting. When I first started my journey and I would look at those businesses that they have won those awards, and I used to think, wow, it must be an incredible feeling to stand up there and take that award and feel so proud of yourself and the work that you've done to get to that point. And spot on to your point, it is a proud moment when you're up there getting these awards and winning them, but it's the hours that you put into it and the work that you do leading up to it and the team that you've got, and that journey is the part that makes it exciting.
Yeah, and I think if you enjoy the journey, not just the destination, it makes it so much more fulfilling because it's for a purpose. Now, I understand you have a couple little ones as well.
I do. I have my son, Cyrus, who's 9 years old. I had him as my second baby, so Planix was my first baby.
Of course.
And he was my second baby. And that in itself was got an exciting journey, I should say. I wasn't ready for when I was pregnant with him. I wasn't ready on the impact that he's going to have for me and the change of priorities that I'm going to have and what that means from a business perspective. I've shared on that in the past through other podcasts as well. And I think it's one of those ones that it teaches you the power of mindset and the power of you don't have a choice, just like we talked about when you're 16 and you arrive and you get on with it. It's the same thing.
You're thrown in the deep end.
Thrown in the deep end and you make your way through it. You don't have a choice to sit there and lie in bed and think,
Feel
you know
sorry
what?
for yourself, worry about it, get it done.
Work will get itself done, business will run, and I can just be here and sleep.
It is a lot harder though. Look, I guess from a male's perspective, it's not as challenging as a female that's a CEO. For us, it's obviously a lot less challenging, but a female that's a CEO, you've got so much more to contend with.
Yes.
The pregnancy, having the kid, probably being a lot more maternal, you're going to spend more time with the child as well. So it's a lot more things to juggle and challenge.
That's right. And that continues on, So that challenge of wanting to be there and wanting to be the best mum to the kids. So Cyrus is 9 and Ayla is 3 years old. Just wanting to be there for both of them at the same time, wanting to do everything 100% for the business.
To be a great CEO
and
as well.
To be a great CEO. So that mindset of you don't have a choice to just say, you know what, today I'm not going to turn up. I'm just going to stay at home in my PJs and not do anything today. It's not there. The option is not there. And I think that's the part that makes you who you are, makes you push through life because complexities and challenges make life exciting and provide opportunities.
They make you grow though too. A lot of people see it. I look at every challenge as an opportunity to get better, to see how you show up. But I heard a friend of mine on the podcast said, he goes, there's no such thing as work-life balance, Chris. He goes, there's work-life choices.
That's right.
You make the choice to where you're going to be. He goes, if you want to build something great, understand it's going to take hours and hours and sacrifice. And this gentleman just won a massive award, Business Newsweek. Oh, he was on my podcast that was in Queensland at the Marriott at the time. And he said to me, a true entrepreneur's got a sign in his office. And I might misquote it, but it's something like this. A true entrepreneur leaves a job, 38 or 40-hour-a-week job, to work for himself for 60 to 80 hours a week. And I said, that actually epitomizes a CEO and entrepreneur. People that say, I want to work for myself so I can have more time.
Yes.
I don't think that's going to really take you that far.
No, that's right. And it's interesting. I have friends who are successful businesswomen. They're CEOs and work in other organizations. They're not business owners. And they say, oh, you're so lucky to have your business, And I always smile at them and I'll say, I am genuinely lucky, but my work doesn't stop. You
put yourself in that position. Though.
That's right. And you do it because you're passionate about what you do and you want to do it. I do it with a smile. I want to be at my at my son's school when he's winning an award, I want to be there and my business allows me to schedule that in and be able to be there. So I am his mum when I'm there. I am not the CEO. I am his mum. But at the same time, when he's sleeping, I am sitting down and working.
Email, Saturday, Sunday, Friday.
And to
stops.
them, they're sleeping. Their mum is sleeping in their world, but I am sitting there and doing what I'm passionate about. So for me, it's not about, as you say, it's not about work-life balance. It's about work-life choices and integrating the two together at any point in your life to make it as best as you can. Because the whole 9 to 5 for a business owner, it just doesn't work like that.
Let me ask you, so upon reflection, as we discussed, you migrating to Australia, starting your business, having children, what would you say to a female entrepreneur that wants to get into business, that wants to have a child? What are some of the things that you'll equip her with? What information or advice would you tell her?
First of all, I would say get a mentor who's been through it. And that's a reflection on what I didn't have. So when Cyrus was born, again, I went into it naive, not knowing what I don't know.
Of course.
First of all, if I had a few of those strategies up my sleeve, I would have been in a better position
to equip yourself with the tools.
To equip myself with the tools. The second thing is you can do it. That's what I will say. a number of people that I mentor, and they say, you can't be a successful business person and a mother. And I say to them, you can. You can. You just have to learn to prioritize what's important at any given time. What does that mean? As an example, I don't own a TV. I don't sit there and watch Netflix. I don't spend time on social media. I don't have a TikTok account, because these are the things that are distraction.
Again, work-life choices.
Later on in life, maybe when I retire and I have time, I will have a lot of time for Netflix. But right now, it's not a priority. So I think identifying what are important to you is it's an important one. The third one I should say is, you will be challenged. Doesn't matter what. Things and complexities and issues, roadblocks will be thrown at you. Doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman or start a business owner or, 10 years, 15 years into your journey. It's your mindset. Are you going to let that stop you to achieve the dream that you want to have or where you want to go? Or are you going to find solutions to that problem or to that issue that you have and learn from it, put strategies in place and grow?
You said it before. You just got to get on with it. Don't feel sorry for yourself. Work it out. Now, I have a very, very big belief in finding mentors.
Yes.
I've had one for many, many years in business, in life, and people go, but you've had teachers at school. You go to a gym, you have a trainer. If you're competing, you have a coach. Why wouldn't you have a business mentor? So for me, I've found in all my areas of my life, I've always had.
That's right.
When I played professional sports or semi-professional, I've had coaches. I've got business advisors. I've got mentors.
Yeah.
They've navigated through this situation. So whatever you don't know, they've gone through it.
100%. And again, it changes as you go through life.
Of course.
A mentor that you have when you are 18 is very different.
But you change too.
You change too. And that's the beauty of the growth, becoming the best version of you. As you grow, that mentor might not be where you want to be. You might want to be at a scaling part in your business. Find a mentor who's done that and can guide you through that process.
Great advice. And I always say, with a proven track record.
That's right.
Every second person online is a mentor these days. But the ones that I have in my corner are very experienced. They've walked the walk that I want to walk. And they're sharing knowledge and information with me. And I know it's from experience.
Yes.
I know they have battle scars.
Yes.
I know they've gone through the sleepless nights, running big offices, having hundreds of people work for them. Their advice will always be more sound.
That's right. That's right. And then you might have multiple mentors, someone who wants to provide you with a business growth strategy. And then you might have a mentor who's helping you through some other life challenges at the time that you're going through. So it doesn't have to be one mentor at a given time. You might have multiple for different parts of your life. And there might be friends that you rely on. They're your unofficial mentors, but find those people is what I tell them.
Yeah,
find them
I have both,
for different. Yeah.
I have some I've had for many years. When I wanted to get on social media, I reached out to a guy who I really liked. He shared the values that I liked,
Yes.
kindness. He was very giving with his time.
Yes.
I DM'd him. I don't like social media
Yes.
at all, but I do it for work purposes. And I said, hey, I like what you do.
Yes.
I want you to give me some business mentoring or coaching through social media.
Yes.
Because I haven't done that yet. And he actually started mentoring me and created products around that. Had over 1 million people following him on LinkedIn, and I love the message he was sharing. So I reached out to him. He's from Sydney.
Yes.
Shout out to Ahmed Imam. He's a very nice man, and he was helping me for maybe 1 to 2 years.
Yes.
So I can understand LinkedIn.
Yep.
I can understand the platform. And the reason I connected is because I liked his message.
Yep.
I knew that he knew what he was doing because I could see it. I could see the results, and it was getting him in the way that I wanted.
And you touched on values. Values are the most important part that you find in your mentor and in your business partners, in the people that you employ, the people that we work with, the
Spend
clients.
time with.
Values are fundamental, finding value-aligned people that you want to be around with. Again, not everyone's your kind of person, and that's okay.
That's what I always say to people. It's not, you have a conversation, it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
That's right.
As long as it's done in a respectful fashion,
Yes.
you can move on, shake hands, and off you go. Never has to be, it's not end of the world stuff.
Yep.
But if you find someone that you like, you move on. Now, going back to Planix,
Yes.
you went from a sole trader to now you employ close to 30 people. How did you go from there to there?
a very interesting journey. So started at GFC, just me. So I saw what happens to businesses during that period and the challenges that happened. At the time I was working for Jones Lang LaSalle. All of our work finished off. Everything went on ice. We didn't know how long it's going to take for us to build it back up. I'm always listening. I'm always learning. That's part of who I am. I am. I'm a very curious kind of person, and that's actually one of our values within the business. Then 2012, I started a business. That happened quite quickly based on relationships and connections that we've got. So
that phone call that you received.
A phone call that I received back in 2009, another phone call that I received in 2012, and it snowballed. At the time in 2012, I didn't have a lot of strategies and protocols and systems in place. We had some.
Well, that happens in time though, doesn't it?
It happens in time. But we didn't have time to set it up because it happened so quickly. 2015 is when my son was born and everything was turned on its head. And at that time, through that process of reinventing who I am as a person and my changed priorities.
As a mother and the CEO.
As a mother and the CEO, we put in place a lot of systems and processes because we went through a downturn in terms of lost a few of our key clients, our finances were in good shape because I wasn't there. But
it makes sense though.
It makes sense. So we grew in 2015 from a systems and processes perspective, 2015 to 2016. 17, 18, 19 were our great years that we had. We grew the business. We were delivering in excess of $2 billion worth of work.
What do you attribute that to?
Our people. So for us, culture is number one, and it goes back to values of who we are and who we want to employ, who we want to work with from our clients and our staff. During that period, there was a lot of work happening in the industry. So we had really good people. And at the back of that, we got some really exciting projects and clients that we're working with. And then we had COVID. COVID hit us, and that's one of those parts that impacted us hugely again and made us reshift and rethink about some of the systems and processes and structures that we've got in place as well. So every obstacle that we've had, we've come out of it thinking, what are the better ways to do it? So if we get into that position again, or if something like that happens again, which is some of it is outside of our control, we are able to continue our growth. So how did we do it? We continuously learned from the beginning. So from 2012, effectively, we've been learning and watching and implementing new strategies. This year, we've gone on the whole tech journey. We are developing a Planix system, software system. It's called Planix Automate. And we are very excited by it. It's a very unique system that we think will bring a lot of efficiency and improvement to the way project management is delivered. We will be launching that early in the year. I would say we started implementing it internally shortly. We started. And I think it's something that, again, it's a part of who we are. We're continuously looking to see what are the better ways we can do things to better support our clients, you know. So someone asked me, we were presenting to a client yesterday and I mentioned Planix Automate. And he said, so what does that mean from your project management service and your staff? Because some of these work,
what's the difference or what's the benefits?
What's the difference and the benefits? And I said to him, we'll be on site a lot more. We'll be meeting face-to-face with our clients a lot more instead of sitting in the office and doing admin.
Client experience.
Client experience will improve.
Delivery
of our excellence, which is one of our values,
less
will improve.
Errors. Yeah.
Less errors, more transparency and
engagement.
The client and engagement. So the client at any given time can see what our project managers are doing and what are the activities that are happening and how we are able to push and deliver better outcome for them. So these are the exciting things that we are learning, we are watching, and it's a journey. It's a forever journey for me. Continuously improving on what we do and continuously growing in a way that we're able to help our client.
So I have to ask the question because for our female listeners in particular, you had your first child. It was very, very challenging to be a great CEO and a great mother. You figured that out. Maybe you didn't learn your lesson. You went back again. Obviously, kids are the best thing. I love kids more than anything. I've got 4. I'd love to have 10. What did you do differently when you had your second child, and what were you able to take away from that first experience with Cyrus as a CEO and as a mother, but particularly as a CEO for the people that are watching?
Chris, as you know, you've got 4. Every child is different. And that's what happened. I thought I knew what I was doing, and I didn't. Again,
You can read a book on how to raise a kid.
Yes.
Unless you're raising a kid, it's very, very hard because it's case by case.
Yes.
So second kid, COVID.
Yes. The beauty of it was COVID. So I was able to spend a lot more time with her. But the challenge was, because it was COVID, you're not allowed to have any external help or support.
Yeah.
So my parents lived further than 5K away from where I live, and they weren't allowed to come and be with her or look after her while I do work. So it was a lot of navigating this whole new motherhood, all over again with a completely different mindset and a completely different challenges. So how did we do it? I really don't know, Chris. It was one of those times that, again, thrown in the deep end.
Like the start.
Thrown in the deep end. Want to be the best mom for Ayla, who's a newborn, desperately needs me. Want to be the best mom for Cyrus, who's at home, learning from home. And I had back-to-back Teams meetings all day long, effectively, So the day she was born, I was... the week after, I was back online and we were doing our meetings on Teams again. So what did I learn? I learned don't dwell on it. Don't think about it.
Get it done.
When challenges come, you've got the choice of, and again, it comes back to your mindset. One step in front of the other, on you go. Don't sit there and start dwelling and thinking, because once you do, all the negative thoughts and everything else that will tell you to stop will be thrown at you. So get on with it as much as you can. Get help as much as you can, because that initial period of parenting and finding your way and what kind of a child you have, again, every child is different, So with Cyrus, he was a bad sleeper through the night, but he was a good sleeper during the day. Ayla was the opposite. She was a good sleeper during the day, not a great sleeper.
So you had both covered.
So I had both sides, So as much as you can try and have strategies and plans in place, what I would say to those, want to be mums or new mums, find help and don't overthink it.
You know what? You need a team of people, and you raise a very, very good point. Asking for help is a strength, not a weakness, and people got to see it like that. And I think the best way to overcome anything, procrastination or fear, is action.
Yes.
Just do something. Get it done. Build momentum. And I think it's obviously a lot more challenging for a mother and a CEO, but well done. Now, we could talk about strategy. We could talk about business all day. I've really enjoyed having you on my podcast. Are you ready for your quick fire questions?
I am.
All right. What's the best decision you've ever made?
Starting Planix.
How do you handle failure or setbacks?
Mindset. Positive, get on with it.
What's one thing you wish you knew earlier in your career?
Get a mentor.
Who's the most influential person in your life?
That's a good one. I've got many. I think everyone I work with across the team in our company.
What's one thing you'll never leave the house without, except your phone?
My high heels.
What is your go-to strategy for overcoming procrastination?
One foot in front of the other.
You mentioned it a few times. Action and one step
That's right.
at a time. What is the most challenging part of your daily routine?
The nighttime routine of being a mother.
The witching hour.
Being a mother and getting on with work.
What's your favorite motivational song?
Gosh, I don't know. I don't know actually. Maybe fire.
If you could describe yourself in one word, what would it be?
Perseverance.
I would have said, just from knowing you, from this, resilient. What is one trend in your industry that you're most excited about?
Software.
What is the most spontaneous thing you've ever done?
I went camping last weekend, or a couple of weeks ago.
How do you balance work and your personal life?
Routine.
what's one thing that you're grateful for today?
People.
And final question, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much have you enjoyed being on our podcast?
Of course, 10, Chris. I wouldn't say anything else.
It's an absolute pleasure having you and getting to know you in this podcast. Mel, good luck on all your future as well.
Thank you, Chris. Great to be here.